Hey everyone, I'm Mark. This is Gonzo. Today we're talking about, are murder hobos born or created?
What's a murder hobo?
Murder hobo. It's some guys that they like to kill things, and they don't have like cool armor. They just kind of find whatever they can wear, kind of like pillars of
So
eternity.
they look like they're wearing rags, but they go around killing things.
Yeah, I guess something like that. I don't know.
We'll
All right.
find out.
All right, so murder hobos, that's a term that we hear used, thrown around. It's not my favorite term, but basically the idea is that people who like to just kill things just because. They go kill it, get loot, which we've talked about before on this channel. Kind of the way it was in the old days.
It was, and I think that you've mentioned before too, but this mindset often comes from people who have a big background in video games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in video games, that's what you do is you kill the monster, you pick up the
XP.
gold, you get the experience points, and you move on to the next place. And so if they come from that could be the way they think Dungeons and Dragons is played. They sit at your table, you start your game with a very complicated story, and they kill their way through everything.
Yeah, it's just wade in, like kill, and you're like, what is happening right now? So we kind of think that it's a little bit of both, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. So basically, are they born that way? They may come to your game that way. I don't know if they're really actually born that way per se, but they come already that way, ready to kill things. That may be a thing. But the other part of it is maybe you're kind of perpetuating that, or maybe you're actually creating that. Maybe they came to the table with no expectations, none of that. But the encounters that you built, you rewarded them for killing stuff, in the form of XP, which is part of the game actually. But if it's all of that, next thing you know, that's all they're doing, right?
Right, nature versus nurture. Are you providing opportunities for them to go beyond just destroying the next thing in front of them?
Right.
So I think that's where our tips wanted to come from today. Is we wanted to explore those things, and I think the first one. Maybe a tip to help curb this behavior in a player would be to show consequences.
Yeah. So, for example, let's say that you had an NPC. We'll call him Fred.
Fred.
So Fred is a real key NPC. He's got some information that you put in the game. They're going to come to them with some info that they need from Fred, and they kill Fred.
And maybe he's not forthright right away, or he doesn't give them the information as soon as they think they should get it, or he has a bad attitude, whatever it may be.
Whatever happens, they end up killing him. And you're like, oh man, they killed Fred. Well, the consequence could be, all right, well, it'll teach him a lesson a little bit. So when they loot his body, which invariably when the murder hobos, they loot the body. So when they loot the body, they find a note that says from the magistrate, make sure that this party knows that we talked about. Remember that we tell them what we talked about. And so that's it. That's all that's in the letter. And they're like, oh shoot, we killed the guy. We don't know what he was going to tell us. That kind of thing is there's a consequence. Like, oh, well, you killed the guy that had the info you needed. Maybe if you do that a few times, they'll start to go, hey, maybe we should kind of hold back on killing everybody immediately and find out, see if they have some vital information.
Not everything is like these things on the table where they see it and instantly need to destroy it or something like that. So, another thing we thought about, or an example would be if your party's traveling and they see a campfire off in an evening, off in the distance, they go and explore, see who's there. And they see a group of trolls or ogres, and maybe they're just eating or doing their thing.
Yeah.
The players could say, well, let's kill them and see what they have. They could, and we've seen this happen where they want to just take them out. They inherently think that these things are bad.
There's only 2 of them. There's 5 of us. We got this.
And so that, as a dungeon master, you may allow that to happen. That's fine. But there should be a consequence. Maybe these trolls or ogres had a third one that was out getting wood and saw your party do this, goes to his masters, maybe the giants or something like that, and says, hey, these guys are out there destroying us.
Right.
And now they've got big problems because they were kind of more aggressive than they should have been. They could have easily have gone on.
Yeah.
It wasn't an immediate danger to them. So these kind of things will help curb them if you as a dungeon master provide consequences to the actions of your players.
And actually, in that last scenario, maybe you could reward them as well. So
Sure.
they avoided an encounter. they did not kill him. So maybe there's a reward for that. They find something along the way, or they find a better way, and they go, oh, good thing we didn't kill those guys, because this opportunity opened up. So consequence and reward either way, but try to move them along in a different way. But another thing to think about is that maybe they came to the table not knowing much about this, coming from video games per se or another game. They feel like you need to kill everything on site, but help show them that there are other aspects to this game besides just killing things, right? So build some things in there for problem solving, maybe some exploration kind of stuff. There's a lot more to D&D than
help them to think outside the box. Maybe everything doesn't have to look like this. It can be, and sometimes you can mix it up too, where your bad guys don't look like bad guys. And that will throw them for a loop as well. But it's all about being creative in the way that you help your players find different ways that they will not only play the game but enjoy playing the game.
Absolutely.
So if you have players and the whole group enjoys murdering their way through things, then the game will probably be fairly short, because they're never going to get outside of that angle. They're never going to see any other aspect of the game, and so. Yeah, they'll progress as far as experience points. They may get leveled up and stuff. But the story may start to get stagnant. The story may just be one battle after another, which ends up being what some of the old school dungeons and stuff were. Yeah. Just one encounter after another that they had to destroy, get the loot, get the magic items, and move on.
Absolutely.
And today's game is definitely a lot more complex. It leads to players wanting to tell a story. Yeah. And stories are generally a lot more than just destroying things. So murder hobos, are they created or are they born that way? That's a question for you to decide.
Right.
But I think as dungeon masters, we have an opportunity to help shape those kind of players and help them to find other ways that they can improve their game.
I think that's great. I think that hopefully that improves your game. If you like our videos, make sure you subscribe and make sure you comment below. What are some things that you do to maybe curtail the murder hobo kind of aspect? Maybe some things that you've tried or have been successful. Put that in the comment below. We like to look through those comments, and we really want to hear from you. And also make sure you like this video and share with your friends. We're growing, and we're really excited about our growth, and that we're getting bigger as a community. And it's what we really feel strongly about is the idea that we share ideas like this, and that's why by putting things in the comments, we can start to share some of those ideas. So I think that's all we have time for today.
Yeah.
And with that,
class dismissed.